Hello everyone, this is Meltman of Gaming Philosophy, and welcome back to HardSpace ShipBreakers. Alright, Daniel, Joseph, welcome to the stream. And I need to move my camera, I just realized that now. I'm going to move it down right about there, should be good. Okay, so there was an update to this game, and I want to go and cover some changes that have happened in the game with this new update. The biggest effect that people will notice is there's a new layout for ships. So it's the heavy cargo class. Now, geckos by default always were heavy cargo, so there wasn't much change in the geckos. But if you go down to the mackerels, you now have a heavy and a light cargo difference, and usually the heavy cargoes look just like the light cargoes inside. Well, that's been changed. The heavy cargo classification is completely redesigned, and some of the button prompts have been changed. E gets swapped out for space in some cases, but E still being recognized. So I need to buy
Welcome to Vendatron 9000.
repair kit.
Thank you for
Probably
your
a
purchase.
utility key
Have a
as
nice
well.
day.
So here we go. Let's get started. Oh, that ripped off really quick. Much quicker than I expected. There we go.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
And a lot of the things with these the heavy cargo
Salvage secured.
have a lot of new things for you to salvage in them. It's not just X mechanical parts, X electrical parts. You have like salvage a forklift.
Airlock pressure levels dropping.
So we know that there's a forklift.
Airlock pressure
somewhere
levels
in here.
increasing.
So, that's that.
Air pressure level decreasing.
Alright. Okay. So, flush the fuel system. Disengage this fuel line. Disengage this fuel line. Okay, so we've gotten rid of all the fuel lines, and you'll see, here's the forklift I need to salvage to complete one of the tasks. So let's go ahead and just pop this right out. And send that off. And now we have the forklift.
Valuable objects processed. Credits awarded.
And there we go. Easy peasy, liquid squeezy. Alright, but we need coolant and fuel. And well, there's a lot of coolant and fuel in here, so let's go ahead and just pop out the floor here. There. And the problem with these is because there's many on them, it's really easy for them to get pulled, yanked a little bit awkwardly, like that, but to bump into each other. And if that happens,
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
you have a chance of a ruptured container. And you don't want a ruptured container. See, if I were to just yank this off, you see how it had a little bit of spin to it?
Salvage secured. Credits
Ah.
deposited.
I'm recovering that because, again, I think some of the physics are a little bit hokey. They need to still fine-tune things a bit. Because I have no idea why that particular fuel tank wanted to yeet itself off into oblivion like that. Trying to be as gentle as can be, but obviously...
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
having a fuel tank come loose like that. There we go. Hopefully I can still get enough fuel out of this that can make the quota. Alright. Not that I need to complete missions at this point. I'm really just working towards the total debt. There we go.
Salvage
That you
deposit
start with.
accepted. Credits transferred.
Alright. Oh, boop. Alright. Now, I could pull the reactor, but I have 2 fuel containers right here. Let's go ahead and get these tools off of the barge. I mean, why not, right?
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
And boom. Fuel complete.
Salvage deposit accepted.
Alright.
Credits transferred.
And reactor done.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
Okay. And away the thruster goes. Done.
Salvage secured.
Now,
Credits deposited.
the other big one is getting 2 twin nacelles salvaged. And that shouldn't be too terribly hard, considering the ship has 2 twin nacelles. And it's, unless I kind of blow them up, they're going to easily be popped off. Fuel line. Just matter of cutting it free and pulling it off. But I do like the heavy cargo because it has a much more exposed kind of guts of the ship. You don't have to cut through so much of it,
Salvage
which
deposit
is actually
accepted.
kind of nice.
Credits transferred.
It makes it a little simpler to get at everything you want to get at. So we need 1 atmospheric regulator, and that's this thing right here.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
Okay. And there we go. So, again, some of the work orders are a whole lot easier now. Because again, they want, instead of like a whole bunch of electronics, key
Salvage
items.
secured. Credits deposited.
And if you're smart, there's usually some extras. Like, again, I lost that fuel
Salvage
tank because it
deposit
went
accepted.
squirrely on me.
Credits transferred.
And here we go. So now we just need
Salvage secured.
metal and
Account
nanocarbon.
credit applied.
So, cut this off. Oh, we have a loose tool. Let's go ahead and pull you out too.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
And
Got about 5 minutes left in this shift,
there we
Gunner.
go.
Don't bite off more than you can chew. Weaver out.
Alright, you saw how it just gave right there? Ah. Oops. It's loose, but it's not completely loose. So, I think because this is a separate unit. I think we cut this off. It'll also relieve the pressure of holding it in place. So if I do that. There we go. Alright.
Object accepted for processing. Credits deposited.
And there we go. Several whole segments held together by their fuel line. Oh, we got a straight tool that was loose in there. Put that in this.
Warning. Oxygen reserves are low.
Well, that's going in. I'm gonna get some more oxygen. Alright.
Valuable object processed. Credits awarded.
Oxygen levels stabilizing.
And that got us a whole heck of a lot of salvaged metal and nanocarbon. I don't think there's any holding on the boost of the ship, but don't go anywhere. There we go. Blop.
Object accepted for processing.
All
Credits
right,
deposited.
there we go.
minute left, Cutter. Time to start wrapping things up. We wrap.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
There we go. Nanocarbon mission's done.
Processing valuable object. Credits awarded.
Alright. So if I had gone maybe for this piece first, because this is aluminum, it would kind of salvage metals, get that into the furnace, and it'll probably complete that mission. But it's a complete redesign, which I think is interesting. I'm enjoying it. Actually, equipment. Let's go ahead and repair these two tools. Start shift. Because my cutter was smoking a little bit after last shift, so.
Welcome to Vintatron 9000. Thank you for your purchase.
And as you can see, put that in there. And that'll probably complete it.
Raw material processed. Credits deposited. Work order complete.
And yeah, you actually hear that doo-doo sound now, which is letting you know that your work order is completely done. You don't need to worry about it anymore. So now basically this entire shift I can focus on getting as much value out of the ship as possible. Oof, kind of damaged that a little bit.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
There we go. Okay, here we go.
Valuable object processed. Credits awarded.
Now.
Valuable object processed. Credits deposited.
Okay. And this should pull off well just this way. There we go. And there we go.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
Oh, shoot. Back here. Crap.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
I got it under control. It's salvaging. Oh boy. Hopefully nothing on the inside of the cockpit got damaged with that. Alright. Let's go ahead and cut the nanocarbon bits off here. Get that done. I wonder, normally I manually cut this off and it's complicated. But I wonder if I could get it to release by cutting these attachment points here. No? Alright, well. Okay. That gets some of it off right off the bat.
Processing valuable object. Credits awarded.
There we go. And now it's just a matter of getting the rest of this cut off.
Object not accepted. Please revisit your training.
Oh, calm yourself. It wasn't that much aluminum. Okay. Oops, I somehow cut this. It's a
Valuable object processed. Credits awarded.
Don't remember when I did that, but okay. Alright. So I believe I should be able to... Actually, let's get this stripped up and put in here first. Alright. Alright. So the rest of this should mostly be furnace fodder. Just the base frame. So we'll send that off. Alright.
Material deposited. Processing valuable objects. Credits awarded.
Alright. Alright, now with those beams cut, there we go.
Raw material processed. Credits deposited. Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
Oh, we have another parcel over here. Alright,
Salvage secured.
so we should be able to
Credits
slide this
deposited.
out here.
Cutter, there's 5 minutes remaining in this shift. Get in while the getting's good. We wrap.
Alright. And that now frees up the entire cockpit. Nothing in there. Just ready to go. They'll be mad that I'm burning up the glass, but I mean, come on, it's glass. Okay. See, again, literally no reason for that to do that.
Credits deposited.
No reason for it to act that hokey. But it was going to act that hokey because reasons. And because it released so much electricity, I have to worry about everything that is conductive. Go ahead and, for a brief moment, trying to shock my life. Okay.
Salvage
So,
deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
I really do dig these new layouts. They throw some variety into it, definitely. But also, at the same time, there are certain things about these new layouts that show the flaws of the game. And that is that
Raw material processed. Credits deposited.
they need to find a way to work with the engine to see why
Salvage secured.
it's having
Account
such
credit applied.
extreme
Your oxygen
reactions.
reserves are low. Note that excess carbon dioxide can cause damage to Link's equipment.
Salvage secured.
Yeah, I'm not too
Credits
worried about it.
deposited.
Now when I pull this, everything's gonna fall apart.
Warning. Oxygen reserves are critical.
Material deposited.
Oh crap. And there we go. There was a power conduit I think I incinerated, but come on. And almost completely out of oxygen. So there we go. So that's the new heavy cargo. But the thing is, though, that was the hard layout. There are multiple different layouts to the ship that make it react kind of differently and kind of be careful when it's being set up, because it's not just that layout that's in there. The heavy cargo has a bit of variety to it. So let's see here. Now keep in mind, when I did that one, it was a hard difficulty heavy cargo. Now I'm going to go ahead and grab another heavy cargo. It's medium difficulty. And you'll notice there'll be some changes in how the layout is. Let's go ahead and...
Welcome to Vintatron 9000. Have a nice day.
So less quests for this one. But I think they went through the effort of trying to create some variety in
Salvage deposit accepted.
the
Credits
heavy cargo
transferred.
class for macros. Excuse me. I said get into the net. Thank you.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
Okay, so the hatch is over here. There we go.
Airlock pressure levels dropping. Airlock pressure levels increasing. Air pressure level decreasing.
Okay. Oh, sweet, a utility key. Let's go ahead and... I forgot to buy one anyway, so that'll be immediately used. That flushes the fuel out of the rear nacelle and reactor, so they're easier to handle without having problems. Okay. And again, you notice there's not long fuel lines in this one, just a single one going to the back. Let's go ahead and move the cells out since we're here.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
Alright. I probably should have removed the fuel tankers first, but there we go. Thankfully the reactor didn't
Salvage
spark off on
deposit
me.
accepted. Credits transferred.
Alright.
Salvage secured.
Alright.
Account credit applied.
Okay. Alright. So, they want me to take a thruster, but they want 4 power cells. Which means the last one only had 2 power cells. So this one's going to have a whole lot of power cells in the ship that I'm going to have to find and part out to go and complete the work order. But of course, one of the things it wants is this reactor. So there we go, engine away. Thruster class 1, deposit.
Salvage secured.
Okay.
Credits deposited.
So, 1 junction box, 2 more computer terminals, 4 power cells. Alright. Now this could all go south real easy. Let's say I pulled the junction box and it sparked over these fuel containers. So let's go ahead and
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
there we go. Oh. Seriously? There we go.
Object accepted for processing. Credits deposited.
That was being a bit of a trouble there. Alright, anything on this? Nope. Inickets. Alright. Alright. Okay. Any sensitive equipment around the junction box that
Salvage deposit accepted.
has value
Credits transferred.
it could easily be damaged. There we go. Alright. There we go. Junction box done.
Salvage secured.
Alright.
Credits deposited.
Now, yep, there are 4 power cells. So, that should pull away. Alright. There we go.
Valuable object processed. Credits deposited.
There we go. Now. There we go. These power cells tend to spark. I don't want to risk pulling them off these
Salvage
panels
secured. Account credit
and
applied.
causing them to spark and damaging other equipment around them. Like if you have only
Salvage
4
deposit
power
accepted.
cells
Credits
and they're
transferred.
all right next to each other, and one power cell could set off another power cell, that could quickly fail the mission for you. So it's better just to destroy the cheap aluminum paneling, except that you destroyed some cargo to ensure that the higher priority cargo you can salvage is protected.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
There we go. So that way I got 4 power cells in perfect
Salvage
condition.
deposit accepted. Credits
Now I just need 2 more computer terminals for the shift, and we're good.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
Cutter, you got 5 minutes left in this shift. Knock out that work order before they turn the lights out on you. We wrap.
valuable object. Credits awarded. Valuable object processed. Credits awarded. Salvage secured. Credits deposited. Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
And that's work order complete.
Work order is now complete. Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
Alright, I need to just get some oxygen. I got 2 minutes left in the shift. There's market part up.
Oxygen reserves are critical. Affordable oxygen supplies are available for purchase at the Master Jack.
Okay.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited. Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred. Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
Cut it. We're getting down to the wire. Let's put a bow on this shift.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited. Deposit accepted. Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
There we go. So we lost some lights, a little bit of aluminum, a couple panels, and some structural. No, that's okay. and now we can just focus on, again, on parting out the remainders of the ship.
Welcome to Vintatron 9000. Thank you for your purchase.
Okay then.
Salvage
I must have bumped it
secured.
against the
Account
frame.
credit applied.
But you notice how it's sparking damaged that aluminum panel. There we go. Hey Heretic Daniel, welcome to the stream. Why do ads saying goodbye back fat keep playing on Melt's channel?
Salvage
I have
secured.
no idea.
Credits deposited.
I'm going to assume that the demographics for the backpack ad is matching with the demographic of my majority viewer base. In other words, the ad assumes that people that are my type of viewers might have problems with back fat that they wish to deal with. How accurate that is, I have no idea. I leave almighty Google and their algorithms to figure that kind of crap out. So this time, instead of assuming
Raw material process.
I'm
Credit
gonna scrap
deposited.
that. Let's go ahead and get that done. Okay. There we go. So. So these new layouts have their own challenges and everything. Their own difficulties. There was one layout that I've come across
Salvage
where
deposited. Credits transferred.
there were 2 reactors instead of just one. But the second reactor, instead of being in the back with the main reactor, it was just off the pilot's seat. So if I cut these out here, should be able to pull you away now. There we go.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
Okay.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
So we've effectively gutted the cabin and caboose. So we just have the main frame left. Yank. Yank. And yank.
Object accepted for processing. Credits deposited.
There we go.
Valuable object processed. Credits deposited.
Oop, I got clubbed in the head. There we go. Away you go.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
All right. Oh, wait.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
There we go. All right. Oh, that was my bad.
Object accepted for processing. Credits deposited.
Okay. Again, to make this easy. Quick. It's so light because I've cut so much off of it.
Valuable object processed. Credits deposited.
Okay. Whoa.
Deposit not accepted.
Oh, because there was a little structural aluminum there.
All right, Cutter, you got 5 minutes left of this shift before they turn the lights out on you. Pitter patter. We're out.
It would help if you would stop spinning. are you attached? Okay, you're not attached. I just thought you were. There we go.
Processing valuable object. Credits awarded.
Alright. And that is us done. So you can go ahead and clear
Material deposited.
the new mackerel heavy cargo in a single ship. Get all this stuff out. Except for maybe the hard difficulties might be more challenging. But if you want to go and salvage the entire ship, get the most dollar value out of it, you're gonna have to take 2 ships.
Welcome
ships,
to Vintage-Run
definitely.
9000. Thank you for your purchase. Have a nice day.
Okay, a couple repair kits for my tools. Just make sure we have some. And shift. There we go. So a little bit of certain things got destroyed. Like a lot of lights, because I don't bother with the lights too much because they're not worth much. We lost 0 kilograms of nanocarbon, so not even a full kilogram was lost. We lost a flush switch, engineering console, a couple airlock consoles, a couple doors, nothing major. And we made 1.3 mil when we had already cleared out everything that was needed for the mission. So we made what, 2.5, 2.6, or 2.3, somewhere in there? 2.3 to 2.6 the first shift, and then another 1.3 finishing up, gutting the whole thing. So again, the only rental that I have that can be gotten rid of is the cutter. And to get the cutter rental, that requires 19,000 in license points. But I've also 3 more upgrades: electrical, cryo, and heat resistance that I could go ahead and get to add to it. I don't own the cutter yet, no. I have the option to buy my cutter, but the cutter rental is incredibly expensive. I've bought my suit, I bought my helmet, scanner, thruster, and grappler, all owned. The cutter is the only one that I haven't purchased yet. Yeah. So, but with the breakdown of the financials, you see where I'm easily able to make well beyond what I pay for in daily fees per shift. I think that that's going to allow players to kind of power through the debt pretty quick. So that's why, again, for bug fixing, what they need to do is isolate why certain items occasionally, when they grapple off, will go squirreling and go flying for no apparent reason. That needs to go ahead and be looked into. But for development feedback, again, making it so there is the option to, once you get to Class 7 ships, make it available to the player to upgrade their bay to a let's go ahead and say, call it just a bigger bay, but you could come out with a cruiser class bay, or, you know, something that's able to handle much bigger ships that you can't part out in a day, but you can get incredible value out of. But of course, have the bay rental, when you upgrade to a cruiser class bay, you're going to go and have to pay a lot more for it because it's a much bigger salvage bay. And a good way to go and work with bigger ships is to kind of have, because right now if you salvage a Gecko, if you're not very careful, the Gecko class ships will end up having parts go into like a incinerator when you want to have them go for processing. Larger oxygen tanks, I think the oxygen tanks are pretty good right now. Like, with the oxygen tanks fully upgraded the way they are, they won't last you an entire shift, but they'll last you for all the way up to about the last 2 to 3 minutes of a shift. So there might be a need in the larger bays for more points to buy oxygen. But the only reason why I would say that you would need larger oxygen tanks is, again, with buying the larger cruiser class bays that allow you to part out bigger ships. If you can also unlock the ability to have extended shifts, or also known as overtime. If you get a shift extension that goes from the standard like 15 minutes to like 20 to 30, then you're going to go and hit that oxygen capacity more frequently and have to buy more oxygen. But again, with extending the shifts though, that means that you can get a whole lot more salvaged from a ship per rental fees that you're having to pay. So that again would be something where it would make any struggle the players having financially in the game much easier. So I would say go ahead and, to put pressure on the players, allow them to get the bigger salvaging bays and allow them to have the ability to part out bigger ships, but make them work towards unlocking the privilege to work overtime and have longer shifts to really capitalize on the amount of parts they could pull out of those bigger shifts. At which point they have to go and deal with the whole, yes, it's a longer shift, but I'm going to have to buy more oxygen for that longer shift. So there is going to be some expense exchange. So, but again, let the players get in over their head a little bit, maybe financially, with having the bigger cruiser bays for parting out much bigger ships. And then after they've developed the ability to kind of handle the financial weight of that, having it unlock the ability to have an overtime shift so they can have just a little time, not a lot. I'm not saying double the shift, but just a little bit more time to go ahead and get that more value out of those larger ships. What items pay you daily fees fastest? Like, are you asking, Daniel, what items have the highest value? Because reactors for ships, the main reactor of a ship, like a Gecko class or a Mackerel class, are going to net you the most money. Every time, as a single item, they will end up getting you the most money. Then after that, it's kind of like thrusters, nacelles for mackerels. For Gecko class, you have your ECU, the electric cooling unit. Computer terminals are a very good one to turn in, because they're worth a lot individually, and if you have a lot of terminals to pull and store, they add up real quick. But you'll often see that when you're looking at your receipt on where you earn the most money, one of the things that you'll see a lot of money from is nanocarbon. And that's just the exterior ship hull, the heavier plating. And a nanocarbon plate itself isn't worth a lot. But if you shear all the nanocarbon off the ship and send it all for processing, it adds up quickly, because there's a lot of exterior plating, a lot of heavy plating on the ships, and they add up really quick. So I would say, make sure you get the reactors, make sure you get the thrusters, make sure you get the computer terminals, and get those in and collected. But after that, after you've got those key components that make you the most bang for your buck dollar, make sure you cut all of the nanocarbon you can off of the ship and get it into processing, because it is still going to be a big value for you. Aluminum, still valuable, but not as much as nanocarbon. Alright, so let's go ahead and view ship catalog. Let's see if we can find one more of these heavy class ships for the night. So again, we have another hard one, but this is a station hopper, and I'm not looking at the station hopper. We've done this before. So here we go. This is a heavy mackerel class cargo. So this again is going to have the new ship layout. And let's see if there's any difference between the other two heavy cargoes that we saw. Okay.
Salvage secured.
A little variance in the things they're asking us to go and get. Not much though.
Airlock pressure levels dropping.
Alright.
Airlock pressure levels increasing.
Now I'm going to leave the air on for just a bit. The reason why that is because, oh, I don't have a utility key. Let's get the fuel done. Seeing a utility key on scanner. The reason why I'm not rushing to go ahead and doing that is right now I'm showing what you can do. And that right now what I'm doing is I'm regenerating my oxygen from the pressurized air in the chamber, getting some stuff pulled off ahead of time. I think that might be good. Alright.
Air pressure level decreasing.
Okay. Now we're unpressurized, which means my oxygen is now going to start dropping.
Object accepted for processing. Credits deposited.
Okay. Now let's go and get ourselves a utility key so we can properly flush the system. There is something you can do if you don't have a utility key. I prefer to have a utility key. And you can manually bypass the fuel. But there's a
Thank you for your purchase. Have a nice day.
there's a chance of causing a rupture. And if it causes a rupture, then be prepared for a bit of a ride. I thankfully have not had the unique taste, but I can imagine what it must be like if a fuel rupture happens because you bypass the fuel system.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
The key I bought. And you see how it just flung loose like that? Instantly toasted itself? So now there's only one place I can put it?
Deposit accepted.
As far as I know, my grappler's low durability, I wasn't doing anything that I wasn't supposed to, but that just happened. And the thing is, though, that never happens with reactors, but it does happen with, like, terminals, fuel canisters, coolant canisters. So it seems strange that it happens specifically with one type of item, but not with other items that are more valuable. It almost strikes me as the developers are having stuff glitch out like that on purpose to add tension. Which, if that's the case, then fine.
Salvage secured.
But
Credits deposited.
the thing is, though, it feels like a bug. If it's intentional, then I think there's more that needs to be done to make that intention come across.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred. Secured. Account credit
2
applied.
power cells, 3 terminals, and a junction box. Okay, so we only have 2 power cells in the ship. Oh! Well, that was my bad.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited. Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
My coder's starting to go and get low durability.
Valuable object processed. Credits deposited.
Okay. Alright, nanocarbon's good. Power cell hit the net.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
I meant to grab the power cell, not this junction box, but hey.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
That's where you got to. There we go. And now we just have to
Salvage deposit
salvage
accepted. Credits transferred.
3 computers. Where do you think you're going,
Salvage
mister?
secured. Account credit applied.
There we go. Alright.
Processing valuable objects. Credits awarded.
All right, Cutter, you got 5 minutes left of this shift before they turn the lights out on you. It's pattern. We wrap.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited. Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
So, what I'm seeing is some of the objectives are much tighter.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
There are not a lot of extra items.
Valuable object processed. Credits awarded.
Douche. Collide with it. Knock it out. There you go.
Valuable object processed. Credits deposited.
There you go.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited. Object accepted for processing. Credits deposited. Work order has been completed. Valuable object processed. Credits awarded.
Okay.
Airlock pressure levels dropping.
All right, Cutter. Wrap it up. You got about a minute left.
Credits transferred. Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
Alright. Now you see how, despite not really having oxygen for the full time, I really didn't have to buy oxygen this time, because I spent time at the start and the cabin pressurized going ahead and
Valuable object processed.
now there's, I don't think much left on this worth coming back for. We get the bulk of it parted out. 2.5 mil. I might be able to get another mil out of that from the nanocarbon, but But yeah. So, resurrection fee, if you don't die, you don't have to pay it. Interest on your really huge debt is 0.01%, which as this debt gets reduced, that number will constantly be going down. Salvage bay lease is 50,000, and bay transportation fees, moving ships in and out of your bay, is 10,000. I am saying if you can salvage much bigger vessels that are worth a whole lot more, you could increase the bay lease and the transportation fees by 10 times. You could slap an extra 0 onto these figures here for a bay that is like triple the size, but it can handle much bigger, more complex ships with a lot more salvage. That means, though, of course, if you have a bad shift, that's, instead of $60,000 you're out for those fees, it would be 600. So in other words, instead of my total fee being 264,000, it would be 804,000. So I'd be at more risk if I don't salvage enough in a single shift. So again, there is flexibility as the player is getting their debt paid down and getting more complex ships to salvage. I think they naturally need to look at letting the player rent a much bigger bay and get at much bigger ships late games. Yeah, 19,000, not credits, it's license points. So I only have 2.6 license points. So now you get license points by completing jobs. So again, the hab rent and hab utilities, I don't see those changing much. I mean, I suppose if they want to go with just because you want to be baller, They could go ahead and increase the hab rental and utilities rental. Utilities on your hab. But I don't think that there probably won't be a big gameplay effect on those. But if players want extremely late game want a really nice hab, maybe with its own escape shuttle that can get you back to Earth in emergency situations, I suppose that would be it. But yeah, because after I pay for my cutter rental, the cutter rental is pretty much, if you look at it, is almost half of this total shift fee that I pay every shift. So if they want to go ahead and make this more challenging and get the player more mindset about balancing, I think the bay lease and transportation fees. Increased bay size increases the bay lease fee. Transportation fees, yeah, I suppose you could go ahead and have that depending on the ship that you're transporting. So if anything that is like mackerel and gecko, leave it 10,000 because it's a smaller ship, so less transportation fees. But if you're transporting to the bay something that is cruiser class to fit that bigger bay, a bigger ship, then have the fee be a much more substantial fee. Yeah. No, of course. If you don't have to rent it, just like everything that you start out renting at the start, your total is going to continue to go down and down and down for what you make, so you end up walking away with more profit to wipe out your total debt. But I'm going to go ahead and I just wanted to go and do this brief stream. It's shorter than my normal streams, I know, but we also had VR chat that we were doing earlier tonight. But I'm going to be keeping an eye on HardSpace ShipBreakers because I want to see what they introduce to the game next. They have a ship diagnostics mode that they're working on adding to the game. They are having challenges that they're looking at adding to the game. They have a new science vessel that is in testing but has not been added to the public release version of the game yet. So the science vessel is supposed to be a little trickier to salvage out. But again, what I'm hoping for and what I think is going to go ahead and add much more options and variants to the game is bigger bays, bigger ships, more challenge at a higher cost for the monthly service fee. So that's what I would like to hopefully see them add to the game as they continue to develop it. But for now, folks, I'm going to go ahead and get some rest. Thank you so much for watching. As always, stay frosty, and I'll see you again next time.